Hello, welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really large Candyland themed wreath. These are some of the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. So I lost the footage of me adding the pipe cleaners. This is an 18-inch frame, and the way I added the pipe cleaners to this one is I started on the center at a crossbar and I laid the pipe cleaner along the inside frame. Where that ended, I added another one. Basically the same way I do the 14-inch on the outside. I did it for the entire wreath, and I ended up with 18 ties. So now I'm gathering my 21-inch mesh, and I'm just gonna add it with a zip tie to the frame. And I actually did this a little different. I added the mesh over top of the first pipe cleaner. I just wanted to see how that goes. And I'm just going to open my ties for the outside. Just makes it easier as I'm going around. And I'm going to do 12-inch poofs. I was counting them real fast. I have 11 on the outside, 9 on the inside. And I like to use my board to help me measure. So I'll just hold one end at the number and then pull it out to the 0 point. Okay, I'm just going to twist once just so it doesn't come loose. If you notice when I twist, I do like a little half twist. Because if I just twist it and leave it, sometimes it comes undone. And I'm only twisting once because I'm going to add more things into each tie. I went ahead and opened up all of the ties on the inside as well. Then to start the center poofs, I'm going to pull the mesh up to the closest pipe cleaner to where I ended. And I'll add the mesh in there, twist once, and then I'll continue making my poofs around. I'm still doing 12-inch poofs, twisting once. And then when I get to the end, I will open up the very first pipe cleaner. I'll show you right here. So I'll open that up and then add the last poof, and that makes it where it comes around perfectly. It's seamless. There's no beginning or end. It makes it where there's no holes. And then I'll just trim that away. And I like to trim and leave about 6 inches or more just so I can push it through to the back. It just makes it a little bit easier to attach it to the frame. And I'll just use the zip tie. And I will trim that away once I get the zip tie trimmed or cut away. Alright, now I'm going to cut my metallic mesh. This is 10-inch foil mesh. I'm cutting at 24 inches, and like I said, I would need 18 of them. Be careful, don't cut your fingers. I like to push my mesh to the center so that I don't use the same spot over and over again on my mat. I decided with this wreath I'm only going to do 2 different types of ribbon. So I'm cutting 18 of each. And I like to use my piece of cardboard. It's 12 inches long, and I'll just wrap it around. I usually do it about 7 times. So I get 7 pieces of ribbon, and they're all roughly exactly 12 inches. And then I'll just dovetail the ends. Alright, now I'm going to add my mesh. I wanted to curl up the front, like tuck it under, because this mesh was starting to fray a little bit. So I'm just going to open up the pipe cleaner and add in my mesh. And then I'm just going to twist it once because I'm still going to add my ribbons. And then I like to fan it out. This one, it looks pretty, and 2, it gives it a lot more coverage. And here I'll show you again. I like to put something heavy on it. It makes it easier. And then I'll just gather it like accordion style. And at the end, I will tuck the mesh under just like I did at the beginning so that there's no raw edges because it will fray. I just use one hand to open it. If you have trouble holding your ruffle, you can always use a chip clip or your Bodabra. Alright, this is my last section. This wreath came out a lot bigger than I thought it was going to with the 18-inch frame. I had this idea to do the Candyland theme wreath, and I was so excited with how it turned out. It's not really my taste, but I really wanted to make it. I thought it would look really good in a little girl's room, or even if you just like pink. Alright, here's the other ribbon that I chose to use. It's got lots of really pretty spirals. They kind of look like suckers or peppermints. And I just fold the ribbon in half to find the center, and I'll pinch it together where the crease is. And then I'm going to add it into the pipe cleaner, but I'm not opening it. And I'll twist it 3 times now because I'm done adding. I like to go through and separate my ribbon the way I'm going to put it into the wreath, and this just makes it easier so I can just grab and stick them in there. I am alternating which one's on top and which one's on bottom with each one. I just think it's a little bit of fun, adds a little different. I don't know, it just makes it a little bit different so it's not exactly the same all the way around. And I do like to do mine in an X, but you don't have to. You could do both of your ribbon colors on one side and the other on the other, if that makes sense. Like you could have both the donuts facing out and both the swirls facing in. Oh, you could even do where there's all one type of ribbon on the inside and the outside has a different type of ribbon. And I'm just using this pen to roll down my pipe cleaners. I couldn't find my glue stick, but you can use anything that you can roll it on. You could probably even use your finger. Alright, to add my last one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I fluff it slightly different than the top because I don't want them to overlap. So instead of pulling them out as far as I can, I kind of pull them apart, but I keep them towards the outside of the wreath, which this wreath was a lot bigger, so I could pull it up further, and it still didn't overlap. Alright, that's what it looks like with just the ribbon added. So I didn't have footage of this, but to add my lollipops, I stuck the sticks back to the frame and then used a zip tie to attach them. And now for the cupcakes and milkshakes and donuts, I'm just using hot glue and pipe cleaners. These originally had ornament things on them that you attach the hooks to. I pulled those off, and the cupcakes, I added the little red cherry on top. It was on a pick that I had. I just pulled the little red bead off and glued them on there. For the donuts, I just kind of turned them to where the hole was not facing down, so you can't really see them. For the little milkshakes, they just needed smaller cherries, and I used the same pick. It had little tiny red balls on it, so I used that for the milkshake ones. And I was lucky I had those because they fit perfectly to cover the holes that was made when I pulled the things off. Now I'm just going to let you listen to some Christmas music while I add the ornaments. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That's how I made my Candyland theme wreath. I really fell in love with this wreath. I thought it was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. I just want to wish everyone happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for watching, and if y'all learned anything today or you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.